ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Mourinho challenge. Still at Arsenal, halfway through the season. We're topping the table at the moment, which was a bit of a surprise, I'll be honest, because we had a bit of a blip. The season didn't start great. We were slowly getting into a bit of a rhythm. We've got into that rhythm a bit more now. 28 goal difference, positive. 3 points ahead of Liverpool, who are in second. So, feeling better about things. We've got Man United today, who are in 10th. So, it'll be interesting to see how we get on there. Otherwise, is there anything really to note? Not really. Transfers. Did we make any other transfers that you weren't aware of? I don't think so. The only thing to maybe make you aware of is that it looks like Unai Vencedor might be leaving us in the summer, but we won't be here either, so it doesn't really matter. Otherwise, looking at the schedule and competitions, we have been knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Chelsea. Bit of a shame, really. We did okay, but weren't great, and that was kind of the period we weren't performing at the best we could have been. We've kind of picked up since then and really started to go a bit undefeated. Inter being the only game we've lost during that period in the group stage of the Champions League, but we have made it out of there, and we will be playing PSG. That's going to be a tough one. They've got a very, very good side. If you just take a look at a few of their players. I mean, let's take a look at their key player, Oscar Ordonez, who actually came from Arsenal. Absolutely quality. He will be leaving at the free transfer, though. No, there's no point me signing him here. Right. That is the only thing. If we were here for another season, I would be straight in to get him. But because we're not here next year, I kind of want to wait to move clubs and then try and sign him. So that could backfire because he could go to a club in the same division or wherever we go and cause issues there. But anyway, we've got Man United today, first game in January. We've obviously got the FA Cup still to come as well. So we haven't got... I was hoping we'd have had a trophy by now, or this would be a trophy opportunity, but unfortunately not. But we've still got plenty of trophies possible. We've still got 3 available: FA Cup, Champions League, and of course the Premier League. We're looking good. We're in control in the Premier League at the moment. But it's time to see how we get on against Man United. They haven't had a great season so far, but we know it's a little bit of a rivalry. They'll be definitely up for this one. Looking at the side though, if I just quick pick really quickly, we'll be able to kind of pick things up. Now, Raphael York, who's come up through the academy, who didn't play last season but has been playing this season, has been actually pretty damn good for us. Let me get the faces fixed quickly. There we go. Fix the faces. So things have been going okay. York's been very good this season. He's kind of stepped up into a role that we needed him to. We've kind of been limited in how well we've performed. It's not been quite as good as we'd hoped. Geronimo hasn't been that good. I mean, he's got a 7 rating, which is obviously good, but he's not been quite as good as I'd hoped. Parada as well had a bit of a tough start because obviously he was out injured for a while. So he's having to try and catch back up with things and do that side of it. Now, saying that, I think what we'll do is play Paredes at left back so he can step into midfield and be a bit more dictating, and he's obviously on a bit more form as well. But with that, we'll get into it. So we've got Setiner in goal, Koundé, Araujo, Elkshire and Paredes at the back. Innocenti, who's started to take that centre midfield spot more and more in midfield. Jair, Santana, João Felix, York and Villa just behind Parada. And then we've got a couple of players on the bench that can really make a difference if we need them to. Hopefully Geronimo can then influence the game later on if needed and that sort of thing. But I'm hoping that we can kind of just win the game nice and easy, outright, no concerns. And go from there. But we are away at Old Trafford, so it's going to be tough. We know that. We always knew that. But Boyton receives the throw-in for United. It's well won by Innocenti as Paredes gets that now into York. Innocenti again. Looks forward to Parada. Chuk, I think that's how you'd say his name. It's an interesting name. Does head away, but Koundé's got that, and he finds Santana. Koundé's making a run inside in the underlap. But Santana looks for a ball over the top. I mean, it's going to go through to the keeper. No real concerns there. 2 minutes in. Bit not great passing. The passing's been a bit all over the place for both teams. Hopefully, things will improve for us. But Paredes does well to win that one. But it is Man United that will come straight back at us. Rago with the ball now driving forward. Elkshire trying to force him out wide, which he does manage to do. But he will look to get a cross in as he's drifting inside beautifully. The shot's really tame and in fact I think was going wide. But it's a warning sign for sure as we sit top of the table so far with this coming in from a throw-in again. Boyson receives it once again. Almost identical in how that highlight has started, but it is a long ball forward. We are able to compete with that one as Santana looks for a switch of play to Villa, who's effectively through on goal here. Can he? I mean, he's gone for a chip. It's a bit audacious. I think he's hit the crossbar and it's bounced out. It's quite the effort. I'd have probably rather him just have hit it, but he's gone for a cheeky dink. It's not quite pulled off, but fair play. He's tried his best, and I'll give it to him. And it will be Arsenal coming forward again. Koundé receiving that from Elkshire. Looks back to him. Paredes into York, who's got the ball into Santana. He's the one that needs to be out wide. That's maybe something we need to look at, trying to force them to do a bit more, is staying out wide, hugging that touchline, as that's kind of where we lack width. With our inverted wingers coming inside. But Rago is going through and goal. Slots it bottom right-hand corner. In the end, it's a very, very comfortable finish. That's such an easy goal for them and such a poor one for us to concede. Really, when you think about it, Obina plays it back to Diop, who's just launched it over the top. We've completely left him. And Rago's through on goal and just slots it past the keeper. Not a fantastic start to things. Not great. We're currently level on points with Liverpool, even though they're winning. So, I mean, it's not too bad. But Man United are in 10th, or now 9th, because they're leading. And that's not what we want. We've got a few players here that need to be really up in their game a bit. Let's bring Parada into where João Felix is. João Felix hasn't been great today. So we'll put Geronimo up top. Parada's going to come in that shadow striker role, which we know he can perform in very, very well. The kind of later runs into the box if needed. And hopefully that just little switch around might create something more. As Gaspar Rago again scores. Good. Right out the gates. Yep. Start of the second half. They've just scored a corner. Yeah, brilliant. That's what you want, isn't it? Yeah, great. And Ngwenya with a ball in. Rago beating Elkshire in the air, which is a bit frustrating considering all things considered. He's pretty good. 6'4", decent in the air, good jumping reach. Why is he being beaten in the air? Because he's nowhere near marking the player. That's probably why. Oh, God. But we're going forward now. Here we go. This is our opportunity to get a goal. If we can get one back here, it'll kind of force things to change. As Santana gets that ball, he's got to whip that in. He does. Elkshire with the header, and it's headed over the bar. That could have been the opportunity to kind of make amends for not winning the header from the corner. But it isn't to be. With 20 minutes to go, we've looked better with the XG rating. We've just not had that many shots, especially on target. Mollica does head it down, but York gets that. Paredes. There's a few Mohawks on the side. That's the new thing. That's the in thing in 2036. So just watch out for that. As Villa comes forward, it's cut out, but it falls back to him. Shoots, bottom right hand corner. Josep Villa with his 10th goal of the season makes it 2-1. With 15 minutes to go, we have a chance to get back in this properly now, and we are going to look to take it. Paredes in Incente. Who finds Geronimo, who nods it down. It's challenged. Then Geronimo's challenged, and it falls to Villa. I mean, we get a bit lucky with how it's fallen to us, but it's well taken, and he slotted it into the bottom right-hand corner to make sure. Now, with him being knackered, I think we will take him off, put Saka on that left-hand side there, and see what he can do in that spot out left. Now, what we could also, in fact, do, which I maybe should have just done, is bring Gavi on for the likes of York, who's not been great, as the ball's just been smashed over the top again to Rago. I mean, we have not dealt with this at all, as Molka gets there. Mollica, maybe, not Molka, heads over the bar. I'm surprised it didn't just stab onto his head with that mohawk that's going on there. But Raphael York will take you off. Gavi can go in that advanced playmaker role. Hopefully he can maybe create something in the last 10 minutes to get us the goal we need to level things up. It's not looking likely now. We'll go very attacking for the final couple of minutes, but we know what happens there. It just speeds things up and ends the game. And there we go. It's 2-1 Man United in the end. Araujo and Elche, the only real players that caused any sort of issue for them. Villa getting the goal as well, of course, but disappointing to see Santana, Parada and Geronimo all playing very poorly. Not creating anything for themselves or anyone else. So bit disappointing to get that loss. We're still top of the table. We've still got it in our hands, though. So it's not all doom and gloom. And we've obviously got the FA Cup and Champions League to come. Still fighting on a few fronts in that regard. But otherwise, look at that. Oscar Ordenose. I mean, how people just need to be trying to sign him. 475,000 is a lot of money, but all you have to do is look at those stats and you're just like, damn, son. Very good. Very, very good. They spent 100. Wow. I mean, that's a profit, isn't it? 1.5 million they bought him for. Sold him for 121 million 4 years later to PSG. And PSG, after 8 years at the club? 7 years at the club? He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 years at the club. He's leaving on a free, which is kind of ridiculous when you really think about it. Have they won the Champions League, PSG? This is something I don't really need to be looking into at the moment. But let's take a little look. Yeah, they have won the Champions League once. So they have managed to do that for him. I don't know how much of an influence he was. And it was worth the 121 million that they're going to lose. But there you go. With that, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you in the next one.